Дорогие друзья, давайте начнем. Я рад всех приветствовать на 8-й международной промышленной выставке «INNOPROM 2017». Сегодня мы открываем абсолютно новый формат мероприятия. Это форум производителей компонентов, форум, который будет сопровождаться проведением в течение сегодняшнего и завтрашнего дня B2B-сессий с участием российских мелких и средних производителей комплектующих и крупнейших отечественных и зарубежных производителей машиностроительной продукции, собственно, потребителей этих комплектующих. Как вы видите, у нас перед сценой подготовлена специальная зона. Я немножко позже скажу, как все это будет происходить. Пригласили мы сегодня к участию компании, которые представлены во всех отраслях инвестиционного машиностроения. Это и энергетическое машиностроение, нефтегазовое машиностроение, станкостроение. Тематика комплектующих и развитие этого направления в России сегодня является очень актуальной, не только с точки зрения заполнения внутреннего рынка и удовлетворения внутреннего спроса, но и с точки зрения встраивания российских производителей комплектующих в глобальной цепочке создания добавленной стоимости. Я предлагаю перейти к нашей повестке, и первое слово я хотел бы предоставить заместителю министра промышленности и торговли Российской Федерации Василию Осьмакову.
Да, спасибо, Михаил. Добрый день, доброе утро, уважаемые коллеги. У нас такой формат планируется подчеркнуто рабочим. Я попробую рассказать, объяснить вообще, зачем нам все это надо. Как вы знаете, Министерством промышленности запущен ряд форматов, стимулирующих локализацию производства в стране. Это так называемое 719 постановление, это критерии российскости, критерии российской продукции.
And decree related to criteria of the Russian product, also investment contracts that are based on investments and creation of the workplaces that would be associated with the status of Russian domestic product, and also some other tools that were supported by about 100 different projects. And last week we have launched another project that is related to manufacturers of components. This would be just associated with 100% loans. This is everything that one needs for happiness at such a low interest rate. We also have a system of requirements for the biggest players in the Russian market. We have our colleagues who we would like to raise a task associated with localization of the manufacturing involved in manufacturing of components, and they complain that there is lack of information on manufacturing of components, and also they have certain complaints related to the requirements that we impose. So this forum that we've gathered here, it's kind of the forum in advance, judging by the number of people in the audience hall, but we think it's the first step. And the main idea of these B2B meetings that will happen here and at the end of the today, we think that we will report about the results of these B2B meetings at the coordinating committee.
Мы очень надеемся, что те дискуссии, которые будут здесь, те выступления, которые будут происходить
that will happen here and that we'll have here, those presentations or speeches that will be made here will bring us to the next step of development in terms of manufacturing of components for machinery, and we think we will scale this kind of format for the meetings in Sochi and in the Far East. We would scale it to different meetings and platforms, and we'll try to make it as effective as possible. So thank you very much. As for today, the informational system of industry is the major platform or service platform that is being utilized in the scope of implementation of industrial policies as the major information services provided by providing different analytical services. And this way I would like to give the floor to Vladimir Vlashespopov, the Deputy Head of Foundation of Industry Development. And we would like to know what could be a positive effect from the informational system, industrial information system, and what other services you are planning to develop in future. Thank you. Dear colleagues, this forum is the first, not only in terms of the format of these B2B meetings, but also in terms of samplings of mechanisms of B2B meetings, and we would like to understand how we would gather together the manufacturers and the suppliers of components. Those services that are being utilized now, they provide search related to description of the products being purchased. We've loaded this information into our information system, though we didn't have enough time, but we managed to capture the audience of more than 40,000 suppliers. Not many manufacturers are included into this system, but the major efforts are concentrated on incorporation of as much manufacturers and buyers as we can. So those services that we provide are services associated with direct order that ensure the connection between the need that is formalized in a certain technical requirements of components to those capabilities that a manufacturer has in terms of the manufacturing of the ready product, final product. So with the use of one of existing ERP systems, we provide extended services that are associated not only with the need in final product, but also in the use of corresponding technical capabilities. This is a kind of a cooperation chain. When a buyer or a consumer, being a large manufacturer or a large entity, understands what kind of production capacities and technologies are available at manufacturers of components, to be able to place them for production of components. Thus, the combination of those chains is one of the major priorities in terms of those services that we provide for small and medium-sized businesses in order to be able to place the information about their products and systems in our system. So, and the government would regulate this information to be able to be provided for the large manufacturers. Thank you very much. As I've already mentioned at the very beginning, the major purpose of this format and of this platform is to provide the opportunity for the manufacturers of the Russian components to be able to tell about themselves, about their excellences, for the final manufacturers of the industrial products from different branches of industry, and thus we invited to participate in this morning's session the major customers who would join us later, and the companies will be able to participate in these bilateral meetings. And in this connection, I would like to give the first floor to Alexei Antipin, the CEO of Ulyanovsk machinery plant. This used to be the first investment contract that was signed in this branch of industry. Alexei would like to listen to what components you're interested in today and what you've already tried to apply and what requests you have in this connection.
Thank you, Michael. Greeting colleagues. The matter is that in 2015 we signed the contract between the machine building plant in Ulyanovsk, and the government of the Russian Federation, under the auspices of Ministry and Trade of the Russian Federation. And according to this investment contract, there is a localization obligation, and we are going to fulfill it by the end of 2017. And these results will correspond to those declared in the contract. We are engaged in localization for 2 years already, and I think we have a certain experience I would like to share. We have successfully modified and developed certain suppliers of cast molding and cabinet management cabinets and steel plates, but we are still in need, and we observe the lack of suppliers of components which are directly responsible for the preciseness of the equipment. These are such components as details and hydraulic system and pneumatic systems. These are suppliers which haven't been identified in the Russian market, and these are the developments we have, the companies we have begun to cooperate with. Unfortunately, those companies refused their orders, referring to the lack of the market, lack of their equipment, and development of their stuff. We understand that this work takes time, and we are ready to work with suppliers. The suppliers we are working with now may remark that we are a responsible partner, and we are developing using the experience the cooperation has developed for 100 years of its existence. We see the way out of the situation in the fact that we are consolidating the total volume of machine building. We are not focusing on just machinery building and the components I have named. The components I have named are present in all spheres of machinery building, and all of them are necessary in every industry. I think that the total volume of machine building industry should be consolidated in order to give a total volume of suppliers, and for the suppliers to be able to count on their expenses. And with this volume, we need to cooperate with state enterprises where certain components are distributed according to the planned procedure, and the suppliers are developed, and the park of suppliers is developed as well. Several suppliers appear because one supplier is not enough to cover all the need of the country. I would like to thank the Ministry for the new format. I hope will help to find the way out of the situation and the cooperation points with suppliers, and to find the suppliers in Russia for us. Thank you, Alexei. As Vasily Smakov said before, we hope that this format will become the basic one for its scaling and for taking this format to different venues. I hope we will make this work systematic, not just connected with certain forums, and I hope this work will be constant. I would like to give the floor to Miroslav Kafedjiev, General Director of Hanem Russia. Its company is present in the Russian market for the long time ago. and it has its own manufacturing. Please tell about your experience of cooperation with the suppliers and the opportunities you see to widen the cooperation and to seek new points. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to be brief, and I would like to say a few words about our company. Our company is 135 years old, and we have about 100,000 employees. We have been present in Russia since 1988. We have 4 strategic branches. One is space technologies, auxiliary technologies, plane engines. The second is automation of buildings, for example, fire system, fire alarm system, air conditioning, ventilation system, for example, fire extinction and fire detection system. In this building, these are systems we supplied. The third situation is management of technologies for manufacturing, and the fourth one is individual protection means and reading of codes means. We have 3 plants, and we want to take advantage of the favorable environment in Russia in relation to raw materials and to the quality of labor. I think we would like to see the forum of components as the opportunity to see the cables and printing plates and plastic articles. We are talking also about capacities for oil processing and gas processing. When we talk about capacities, we talk about things that about containers that are 15 or 20 millimeters thick. And we are talking about high technology articles engaged in gas processing, acquiring in different various secondary products. The latter products are connected with methane and with water filters as well. We are talking about cast iron items, nickel items, because we understand that we don't need to bring iron in Russia, but we want to find high-quality iron and high-technological partners. Thank you very much, Miroslav. I would like to give the floor to Alexey Bezlikhotnych. This is Deputy General Director of Kovrov Electromechanical Plant. This is the plant engaged in manufacturing a wide range of items in different industries, including machinery, and they are participating in several projects, several joint projects on localization, the manufacturing of machinery equipment and at their venues. Please tell about your experience. What components are you possibly producing yourself, and what are your interests, including the contacts with the companies which are present now here, and we'll be participating in B2B sessions. Good afternoon. Thank you. I would like to thank, first of all, for the possibility to participate in this forum. And now, one of the basic directions is machinery building. We have been long cooperating with Russian suppliers, and nowadays we have big problems, big issues connected with components. This is complicating molding and mechanical processing of this electrical molding and linear details, different precise details, the precise parts. We also have problems with Russian electrical automation, with the cable households, and in principles we have problems with the components that are responsible for precise features. These are sensors, linear and round, and sensors for tools, sensors for rough details, rough parts, and all this high technological stuff. We are ready to cooperate with Russian suppliers, and we are always ready for contacts. Thank you very much.
Спасибо вам.
Thank you very much.
Далее
Then I would like to give the floor to Valentina Shirina. This is Vice President of the Department for Procurement and Development of Business of General Electric of Russia and CIS countries. General Electric has very ambitious goals. These are procurements
российского
of
контента
Russian content up to $1 billion a year, including the
продукции
contract for manufacturing the products abroad. These are just examples of combining, including the suppliers into the Russian suppliers into the international chains of products. Please tell about your experience with Russian suppliers, what are the components you're interested in, and how are you going to implement your objectives. Thank you very much. Good morning, dear ladies and gentlemen. General Electric thinks that our participation in the first forum of suppliers of INNOPROM is very important, and we hope that such venues will take place in the future, enabling suppliers, customers to find each other and to find the ways of cooperation and the ways of solving different problems in order to increase the volumes of supplies both for Russian manufacturing services and international services. GE company announced the program of development procurements in Russia and developing it up to $1 billion a year, but understanding that not always the Russian volumes of production for GE are enough to be interested for our Russian suppliers. We are considering the ways to include the Russian suppliers in our global chains of supply for our manufacturing venues in the world, which are about 400 in the world. The basic areas we are considering have been mentioned by previous colleagues. This is molding, this is forging, and components with mechanical processing, this is metal structures and electrical technical items and polymer articles. You know that the product chain of GE is diverse, from power machines up to the medical equipment. That is why our range of components is practically unlimited. We are cooperating with the Ministry of Industry and Trade, in particular with the Department of Machinery Building, in order to be able to independently and to cooperating with the state define the partnerships which will help us implement our objectives. What we have understood for the year of our intensive work. There are possibilities, but unfortunately they are implemented not as quickly as we want them to. This is connected, first of all, with the restricting requirements to the quality of products and to the quality control system. And now we are focusing in the world to create reliable quality control system. The second problem is the constantly restricting commercial terms of contract. In this regard, it's important to gain support of the state and to to gain support of the state in implementing the measures for export support and to continue financing and investing in major funds, and the availability of cheap credits to provide for long-term export chains is very important as well, and the investment into the quality control system is very important as well. If these measures are implemented, so I'm sure we can reach the objectives. Thank you, Valentina. I think that you have touched a very important aspect in quality control systems, and the issues of meeting the quality of the customer will be one of the basic themes of our today's session, including the issues of inclusion and the mechanism of including the suppliers into the lists of major companies. I think that we as ministry will be interested in evaluating the opportunities in implementing some new mechanisms of support from the point of view of implementing certification of Russian suppliers and certification of components for foreign manufacturers. Then I would like to give the floor to Vladimir Borisov, Vice President for managing the supply chain of Schneider Electric Crews. The company has 8 industrial venues in Russia, and I think that they have a wide experience of communicating with Russian suppliers and with localized partners. So please tell about your experience in this sphere and what you expect in the future from the Russian manufacturers of components. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. I'm Filipov Sergei, Schneider Electric. Schneider Electric in Russia has a wide range of businesses and activities, and we are the largest manufacturers of electric installation articles. The company owns the plant, which employs more than 1,000 employees. We are producing different electrical articles, electrical components, and the electric final components. The basic branches of supply, we try to substitute the to do substitutions of plastics, metal articles, about 4,000 tons a year, electrical technical models, polycarbonates and metals. The metal is the basis for making sockets and plugs. These are also plates and bronze plates and silver wire, different fastening things. So we have a very wide range of articles, but the main problem is that from the very beginning, the products of our company, like sockets and switches, was built on the strict requirements and standards of our European manufacturing facilities. Many products were transferred with their technologies, with their peculiarities from Europe to Russia. And that's why very often our quality standards are very high, and in some cases they exceed even GOST's requirements, state requirements. We are interested in these directions, and we are seeking both Russian manufacturers of such raw materials, and we are trying to find the alternate manufacturing facilities, but in our situation they are monopolistic. Besides, Schneider Electric has the plant in Petersburg, St. Petersburg. It manufactures distributing plants of average voltage, and this plant has been built from scratch 5 years ago, and the technologies, all the advanced technologies were transferred to Russia, and requirements as well, quality requirements. The basic areas of activity are seeking for suppliers, so metal workers, and these are different items of steel, articles of steel, articles of non-ferrous metals. We are talking about components. Russian supply companies should have the respective technologies and the respective equipment which would enable to achieve the quality standard Schneider Electric works with in other countries of the world. The criteria, as I have already mentioned, for the quality are very, very high, and we have suppliers we have been working with constantly. However, we are open to cooperation, and if the companies are ready to offer the respective competencies, the respective technologies and capacities, we are ready for cooperation. We are constantly searching, and we are open to any alternate offers we might have. We hope for this forum, and we hope for the positive results it will bring us. Thank you. Thank you very much, Sergey. I would like to wish the successful participation. And according to the results of this session, we will exchange opinions how effective this format is and how it can be improved. I'm giving the floor to Andrei Krylov, Director of Procurement Department of Stan Group. This is one of the largest Russian manufacturing and machine building companies. You have 6 plants. Please tell what components you will produce yourselves and where you see the cooperation possibilities for the Russian companies offering the components. Thank you very much. Dear colleagues, Stan is the machine building holding consisting of 6 machine building plants. We are the consumer of the full range of Russian and foreign components in hydraulic components and electric components and pneumatic components, different auxiliary materials as well. Today we have launched several major programs of localization of our manufacturing and cabinet protection, electrical technical items which are produced by us. Nevertheless, we are actively studying Russian suppliers and manufacturers within the localization program planned by us. We are trying to localize our ready products, and we invite everyone to our roundtable discussions, both foreign and Russian suppliers. We expect business and negotiations to be productive. Thank you. Thank you. Today we have 3 large consumers which will work in our forum, represent the machine building industry, and we have invited to participate in the forum. We have invited Dmitry Krasnov, Director General of Privatnaya Technika. He is the moderator of the working group components. As you know, in the Ministry of Industry, they have different working groups on the development of industries and solving import substitution tasks. Dmitry is the moderator of one of the working groups within the big machine building group, and this group is named Components. He is the head of the respective section connected with the development of components in the Stanko Instrument Association, combining about 300 associations and scientific centers in machine building. Dmitry, will you please tell us about your work and the opportunities your section now and your working group offers for the Russian component manufacturers. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. I understand that the development of components is very important, and last year our section was developed. Our section unites about 40 companies engaged in manufacturing components and planning manufacturing different components at our venues. Data associations say that there is more than 93 components in the machine building. We have distinguished 20 critical points for machine building, and we are conducting an active work from the point of view of collecting needs, key needs for manufacturing, and collecting the information about the potential manufacturers of components, which are both plant and ready-made. The key things are volumes. The volumes may be not enough for the specific suppliers to launch the rentable production. With the working group, we consolidate the needs on all suppliers and consumers of specific components, and these consolidated volumes may be the basis for launching different production facilities. We have faced the problem that some volumes may be not enough, and we are exploring different markets. For example, the market of machine modernization, and it consumes more components than the machine building market. And we are working with both markets actively, and we are trying to go out to reach the large holdings as Rosatom or Rostec, which have their own production facilities and technoparks and modernization programs. We're trying to consolidate the same volume in the common need. We are developing this work in real time, and I would like to wish to all companies to more actively cooperate, because we need this data for the suppliers of components to build their business plans. As for support measures existing now, we have been expert in preparation of the program, the federal program on components. This is the unique components that hasn't been existed in Russia, but these measures will work only when the actual business plan can be built. We are now actively cooperating with Agency of Technological Development, because we are trying to arrange transfer of technologies, and the first programs are now being implemented. The first program of technologies for those programs not existing in Russia. I hope that this venue will help us for cooperation with machine building and machine analyzing companies. Thank you.
Dear friends, our briefing devoted to the opening of the session is coming to an end, and I will be very brief. From the viewpoint of organizing, as you can see, we have desks over here, and our anchor producers will take places over there, those people who spoke in front of you here, and all of you who decided to participate in B2B meetings. You can establish contacts, you can talk to them, and we think that this site is going to be a very good beginning of your cooperation, and we count on that. We hope that it will be mutually beneficial and it will continue. We're going to organize about 150 meetings within these 2 days, and I think for this format, it's been conducted for the first time, and it's a very good start, and we will be multiplying it and using it in other industries. We will invite other suppliers and producers and clients, and You will have all this information available on the desks over here and at the exit from the hall. And we will also conduct a consulting council tonight, and of course we will have a full day tomorrow. There will be lots of meetings. I saw the schedule. It's a pretty tight schedule, both for today and tomorrow. So I wish you all good work, interesting contacts, and we are expecting your reaction to this format. Please share it. Please tell us how efficient your meetings were, and we will be developing this format according to your wishes. And that seems to be about all, and please go around to those desks and have successful work.